Okay, you see the three charts, YM, EMD, and NASDAQ? Okay, good. All right, so I wanted to do a quick recap here this morning. I'm just going to spend a few minutes going through a few of these trades that's set up here on the equities, and we'll spend more time tonight covering them in greater detail in the webinar tonight. Watch these stops a little bit here. Let me show each one, expand these charts out a little bit so you can see what we have here. I know we teach to put the high energy times in the zones. One of the things I like to do, and you can do this or not do it, it's up to you, is this is a 1 hour pre-market zone box over here on the left. It starts painting at 5:30 and it runs till 6:30 Pacific. And you can see here that it pretty well defined a nice area here of support and resistance between basically this 965 and 968. You can see right around when the market opened at 6:30, you got a little kind of yellow bar probe up near resistance. That was a good shorting opportunity there. And then you can see here that it just came down and plowed through the bottom part of support, which is where I got short. I've been in and out of this several times, so this is what I have left. I just have this one contract on, and I keep thinking it's going to roll over and break down here. But you had a nice yellow bar probe. Right around, shortly after the news at 7 o'clock, you got this nice yellow bar retracement. I don't know if you remember this number. It's 964.80. Remember that number? The reason I said that was this 3/8 bottom of trading range pivot just below the support at the bottom of the range. So this was a beautiful shorting opportunity. Right in here, anywhere right in here, just perfect textbook yellow bar probe, and it just rolled over so nicely and just dropped, well, you know, say you didn't get filled until 64 and went all the way down here to 56. This trade alone was a better part of 80 tick drop. I mean, one contract would have been about $800 on that one trade alone today. So just textbook yellow bar probe right after the breakdown. Now, NASI was not cooperating quite as nicely here. If you remember, NASDAQ was a little divergent. Here was the pre-market trading range right over here on the left. And you could see that it had several probes up to resistance here. This was actually good shorting opportunities when it hit resistance here, because you can see from the trend, see the trend dots? This was telling you we're in a downtrend. So what you're doing is you're looking for retracements into resistance to take shorts. And if you'd shorted up here right around the open, you got a nice little pop down through support here. But if you missed that, you got another chance to get in on a yellow bar probe right up in here. See how the market was probing up in here? Now, what made this a little tougher to short was the fact that it was divergent. I mean, let's compare these two charts next to each other. Here's NASDAQ. At 7 o'clock was still trying to roll over here. Apple, as I recall, was still in positive territory. And here was 7 o'clock over here. Here's 6:30 and 7 o'clock on EMD. See, it had already broken support, came up, did not even get back up into its zone up here, and then just rolled over very nicely. So the other thing that I wanted to show here, and this is what Gary was mentioning earlier, was, you know, if you don't get in these original probes short, when it started to roll and break here, you had a couple other chances. You could have drawn a nice downtrend line here on NASDAQ, and each time she popped back up and touched it or came close to it, see these little circles? These were all good little chances to get back in. What you don't want to do, you know, when a market's trending like this, when you get the thrust in the trend direction, for instance, like here's a thrust. I won't get into a whole lot of detail. We'll do more tonight. And here's your retracement. You don't want to get in on the thrust, because if you get in on the thrust and you get filled down here, now you're feeling all this heat before the market moves in your favor. So you want to really look for retracement trades in a trend. Here's another thrust. I'm not going to do them all. You get the idea. Here's another little retracement. These are probes. You know, a lot of you are on a one-week visit or a free trial, and you're just kind of learning the system. So what we teach and what you want to look for is these retracements into resistance to get in. And then, you know, if you like to scalp it, take your 10, 12, 15 ticks each way all the way down. So, in fact, while this was one long short trade down here, not long short. I had one whole entire short trade from here basically to down here, this double bottom down here. In fact, it was really broken into 1, 2, 3, arguably 4 separate trades. I think we're going to roll hopefully one more time. Let's look at YM. YM actually led the group down. If you recall, it was the weakest of the bunch by far. And it was actually portending a break on the other equities. See, look over here. Here was the pre-market support and resistance area right over here on the left. This started painting at 5:30, and it runs till the open at 6:30. And you could even run it a little bit after the open, like 6:35, and the box would have extended over into here. Okay, but you see that you got a nice probe. The trend was down. Here's our guidance dots, 12-range guidance dots, telling us to look for shorts. You get a nice little pop up here to resistance on YM, and this all happened right around the open. Here's 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern is the open of the market, right about in here. Get a nice yellow bar probe, boom, thrusting down, and this was all leading the market. The other markets had not broken yet, and YM was portending a break on the other markets. And YM past couple of days has been doing that. It's really odd, to be honest with you, to see YM lead the market up and down, but that's exactly what it's been doing. So what we're in right now, and I don't know if you're not in, I don't know if I would take it. I would watch the markets here. This could quite possibly be one last yellow bar probe on EMD, because we are coming off a high energy time that I think was like 8:12 or something, wasn't it? 8:15 or 8:12 or something. I know there was a high.
Well, it's 10:18 or 8:18 your time. By the way, just to let everybody know, oil actually went short out of that zone. It's up about 16, 17 ticks.
Nice. Here's what we call a yellow bar probe on NASDAQ, so you're still looking for shorts. We're not getting long here. You know, the only reason you got this burst up off the bottom is short covering. This is not a rally. Okay, I get a lot of questions on that sometimes. You know, where it looks like you actually want to flip and get long. The trend has not changed yet. You know, it's going to have to take out some swings, pull back, find higher levels of support, and then start to take swings out to the upside. Now, it might do that. It might actually, you know, you might get a V-shaped bottom down here, and it could quite possibly be the bottom. I mean, 8:18 high energy time. If you're not familiar with high energy times, they can either mark highs or lows, swing highs or lows in a market, or increased volatility. So you're going to get, you know, the market tending to move in an increased volatile manner around the high energy times. And 8:18 could be marking the bottom down here. These could be the bottoms. We'll have to watch and see. But you know, you've heard the saying, "Nicely green, turn off the machine." And what that means is, if you made good coin all morning, you don't need to chase the market around. So that's pretty much the wrap. Thanks for coming, everybody. We got the webinar tonight at 5 o'clock Pacific. We'll send out reminders here in an hour or two.